Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I get to share two projects with you using the Spellbinders and Fun Stampers Journey Stamp of the Month Club Kit for January 2020. Can't believe I'm still saying that. But this month's stamp set is called Hugs Enclosed. It's a 22 piece stamp set. It's red rubber, quality red rubber. And the nice thing about the stamp set is your stamps will stick directly on the packaging that it comes with. I'm going to stick it right now on the plastic acetate that was behind it, but just so I could flip the whole thing over and show you guys the images. But that plastic sheet that the white one behind my acetate piece is very sturdy. So if you stick your stamps on there, you can hold them vertically in your stamp storage bins. So that makes it really nice. Okay, I'm going to make two cards today, so we're going to start off by doing some stamping. There's lots of envelopes in here, but we're going to stamp the ones that are similar in size. So we're going to be using this one that has a little heart on the closure. I'm using a new ink today. This is the Fun Stampers Journey True Color Fusion Black Licorice ink. I thought I'd give this a try. Usually I use Memento for my ink, and then I'll stamp sentiments and stuff with my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. But I think this ink will do double duty. So you can color with your alcohol or Copic markers, and it leaves a very vibrant black color ink. So I thought we'd give this a go. All three of my envelopes are stamped, so now we're going to stamp the little itty bitty stamps that come in the stamp set. So cute. One has a little heart, one has a happy face, and then the other one has a little sunshine on there. We're going to go ahead and stamp the little bird that has the banner. Stamp that below. Now the banner that this little guy is holding, there's two sentiments in the stamp set that will fit perfectly in there. It has a natural curve to them, so you don't have to curve it to make it fit. It's already curved for you. But I'm going to zoom in. We're going to do a little bit of coloring. Usually envelopes are white and I don't have to do much coloring to them, but I'm going to play a little music while I finish up my coloring, and then when I'm done, I will get you back. Okay, coloring is all done. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment, and I'm going to use the one that says special delivery. There's another one that's in a real pretty font that says Hugs Enclosed. I'm just going to stamp that with my same ink, and so that's ready to go. And then while I'm at it too, I'm going to stamp another sentiment. Since we're making two cards, I thought the Happy Mail Just For You would be perfect. We'll stamp that in the bottom open area of this panel. And the ink stamps beautifully, guys. Okay, I'm going to fussy cut all of my images out, but first I'm going to use my scissors and just create a dome shape over the top of my Happy Mail Just For You. I wanted a little hillside, and so that's going to be my hillside all ready to go. The rest I'll just use my scissors, leave a little bit of a white border around each of the images, and so they will be ready to go. the envelopes especially are very easy to trim around. Once those are all finished up, we'll set those aside and we're going to work on our background. For our background, I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide inks. And so I have a piece of white cardstock and we're going to do a little ink blending with two different shades. I'm going to be using Ripe Persimmon and then Wild Honey. So little orangish colored inks. Starting off with the Wild Honey, we're going to add some to our panel, kind of covering most of it because we're going to die cut out a sunshine for our background. I'm going to do a little added shading with my Ripe Persimmon in just a few areas. And then the die set that I'm going to be using is from Fun Stamper's Journey. It's the My Sunshine die set. This is actually on sale right now, guys. I think it's part of their New Year sale. I think it's a little over $4, so it's a cute little set. It's a 3-piece set. You get the sunshine and then the hearts. But once I have these die cut, I'm going to go ahead and use my blending tool, go around the edges so they're nice and finished. Usually when you die cut the white edges, you can see the sides of, and so if you go around the edges, it just adds a little added detail to it and takes away that white edge. Okay, we're going to flip these over. We're going to add some foam squares behind the middle of our sunshines, and then we're just going to layer them on the back piece here. And so these are ready to go. Now I also want to bring in a little added texture to my hillside. We don't want it to be white. We don't want it to be a snow hillside today. We want to add a little bit of green. So I'm using some peeled paint and then just using my blending tool, I'm going to go over the top area of my my hillside. Actually looks a little lopsided, but we're going to do a little trimming so it's going to be less lopsided. I think we can get away with lopsided hillsides on our cards. Okay, I think this looks great, and you can see I didn't cover up the Happy Mail. Once my surface is all cleaned up, we're going to use an embossing folder. The embossing folder that I'm going to use is called Wonky Diamonds, and this is on sale too, guys, for $1.50. So I'll leave a link down below in the description area to everything that I used today, but this is a great price also. But I die cut out 2 panels and then I trim them down. This is a vertical one, and the vertical size is 3.5 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches tall. And both of these I did a little bit of shading with my broken china, just a little bit, not all the way to the ends, just in the center area. We're going to go ahead and adhere our vertical panel directly to our card base. The next horizontal panel is going to be for our next card. Once our panel is adhered directly to our card base, we're going to go ahead and trim off the right side of our hillside, lining it up with our background panel so it's actually 3.5 inches wide. I think that looks great. I'm going to bring in a piece of yellow and white diagonal striped pattern paper. I trimmed it down to 1/4 inch, but I wanted some extra color down the bottom, and so I just used my glue, and we'll adhere this thin diagonal striped pattern paper to the very bottom. Any excess overhanging we're just going to trim off. That way our hillside's not all white on the bottom there. And I think that looks great. Now, I wanted to actually bring in I wanted to use this washi tape. This is called Whipped Cream Sparkle Tape, and it's from Fun Stamper's Journey. I picked this up on, this is on sale too, but I picked this up, and Spellbinders just has awesome sales. I don't know about you guys, but I love Spellbinders sales. I'm going to adhere a piece. It tears beautifully. I adhered it to a piece of acetate, and then this way I can trim a straight line. You could just use your scissors if you wanted to, but I didn't trust myself keeping a straight line. So if I put it on acetate, it's easy to remove from the acetate, and then I have a straight line. So that's a little trick. Using acetate to keep your little washi tape line straight. Now this is about 1/8 of an inch wide. I'm going to adhere this to the very bottom, and there's a little bit of transparency to it, so you can see through it. You can see the diagonal stripes, but you can also see the sparkle. And I just love sparkle on my cards, so I thought it would work out great, especially with the sunshine. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add a little tape behind our hillside and then tack down our sunshine. I wanted it to be peeking out from behind our hillside, and I think this looks great. We're going to flip this over. I'm adding adhesive behind my sunshine, and then on the heel side we're going to add foam adhesive. This way when we adhere it to our card base, everything's nice and even. Now for this card, we're going to add all 3 of our envelopes, kind of placing them wonky. And I wanted the Happy Meal, the Happy Face envelope to be on the very top, so we're going to do a little tucking with that last one. And I think this looks so fun. I love the color combinations. I just think it looks very cheery. I doubled up on the foam tape on the Happy Face one. And I think my placement looks great. Now, since we have sparkle on the very bottom, we're going to bring it up a little bit. So I'm going to be using some glitter drop or glitter glue. This is from Ranger, and I think it's called Diamonds. It coordinates real pretty with the whipped cream sparkle tape. I just added a few accents to each one of my envelopes, and then card number 1 is done. Love the way it turned out. I think it's nice and cheery. For card number 2, I'm taking this panel. Now this is, I trimmed down, after I embossed it, I trimmed it down to a 2.5 inch wide panel by 3 1/4 inch tall. We're going to make a landscape style card. We're going to start off by adhering another piece of the yellow and white pattern paper that's trimmed down to 3/4 inches wide. I just adhered it to the left of my card base. And then I'm going to take some more of that sparkle tape. You can see how easily it removes from acetate. I'm just going to add that right over the top of my diagonal stripe paper. We'll just trim off the ends here. And then for our background panel, we're going to adhere this with a piece of fun foam. I buy my fun foam at Walmart. This is the adhesive back, so all I have to do is add double-sided tape to one side, and I can adhere it to my projects. And then the back side already has adhesive already on it. We're going to adhere this to the center of our card base, and this is ready to go. I just made sure that sparkle tape was peeking out. And then our sunshine is going to go a little bit to the right, and then we're going to add our little bird right over the top. Now as I did that, I thought the yellow in my sunshine was a little bit too predominant. It wasn't flowing right with my diagonal stripe paper, so I ended up reshading it and cutting it out, and this time I used squeezed lemonade, a little bit lighter yellow ink, and I was happier with the outcome. So I would not use the right persimmon on that one. I would just use squeezed lemonade on the very top. I'm going to go ahead, add some foam adhesive behind my little bird. I doubled up on the foam adhesive on the banner side. This way everything's nice and even. I'll just remove the release paper off of my bird here after I'm happy with the placement, and I think that looks really fun. I have my 3 little letters. Well, actually, they're technically stamps, but I'm going to treat them like little letters. I'm going to go ahead and add some very small pieces of foam adhesive behind each one of them, and I think I think they look like letters. So I'm going to adhere them to my card as if my little birdie was dropping a few of them on his way to the delivery zone. We're going to add a little yellow one in that bottom corner. So I guess these could be stamps or little envelopes. Okay, we're going to add some sparkle to the body of our little bird, and then I'm going to add some to each one of our little stamp / envelopes, and then that finishes off card number 2. So 2 different ideas using the Spellbinders and Fun Stamper's Journey Stamp of the Month Club Kit. Super fun club kit. Always enjoy creating with the Stamp Club. But before I go, I did want to share, I did add some polka dots to my little bird. Just to make them stand out a little bit more. You'll see in the close-ups how the polka dots just add an extra touch. But if you're interested in the Stamp Club, I'll leave it down below along with everything that I used today. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I wish you a lovely weekend, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.